Greetings once again to yet another My Artsy Musings session, and welcome, yes, and welcome to any new joinees if you've happened upon my channel, and hopefully if you enjoy what you see, you'll hit the subscribe button and like and share and comment, and also hit the bell icon if you would like to have notifications of future uploads. So yeah, anyway, welcome once again, and we are in the final phase now of KitKat's portrait, session 4, the last one, and we aim to complete it today. I just want to set up my timer so that I get, well, sort of timer. It's like a third world timer. Just using my kitchen clock with a piece of press stick on it so that I can see what the time is. Right, so we have, I'm giving this last session an hour, and so let's have at it, shall we? I aim to complete this piece today, and what I would like to start off with in the beginning is to start bringing in a little bit more contrast. And I shan't use my big charcoal. I want to use let's see, no, I don't want to use that. I think I shall use my black Conte. I really want to get some nice contrast going. I've set the camera up so that it records, and I've set the lighting and what have you. So it might appear quite dark. I don't know, darker than usual, because I don't want any brightness to come in. So already it appears to be quite contrasting, dark and light. I want to, however, accentuate that, because it's by no means a true picture what you see on camera. So quite often what I find though is, and the reason I do this is because the lighting on camera sometimes doesn't pick up subtleties, and because it's overexposed, or slightly overexposed. So I'm trying to, by setting the lighting and what have you, and the of course the flash on the camera, which isn't flashing, it's just on. By setting that, hopefully you get to see a lot more of the richness and fullness of color and so on. Right, anyway, that's besides the point. But what I'm doing now is really with my black Conte now, I'm just enhancing some of this darker areas, especially off to the right. I want to actually lighten this area around him, the background. It's fuzzy, but I want to put a little bit of blue in there, and perhaps lilac and some green even, just to balance out a little bit, because I've got some green over on this side, some darker sort of olives, olive green, but just with some short sharp lines. I want to build the intensity of the contrast in this background. It's something that the charcoal is not quite equipped to do. I can build darkness, but I can't build subtle darkness with charcoal. So I'm just using my Conte quite lightly, as you'll see. I'm just holding it in my fingertips and just stroking the surface with it to just build up that contrast a little more. And then of course I'm going to also be using a little bit of white just to offset that a little bit. But my finale will be working on the eyes, or at least well, that right hand eye of his, but then this predominantly this left hand eye of his. And a couple of the little darker hair spots in his markings, make them a little bit more definitive. Make them quite strong at this point, but I shall make them a little more subtle with my eraser, perhaps when I go around, depending, we'll see. We'll see. Excuse the knocking sounds. Yeah, that's quite nice. I like the way this is building up, slowly building up the integrity of this contrast. Okay, so let me lift this up to here. I can work off the edge as I want to. Let's bring in a little bit of the, if I can find the damn thing. Where are you? Where are you? Have I worn it down already to such an extent? Maybe I have. Oh, there you are. Okay. My white Conte. I just want to bring in a little bit of yellow here. Just soft. No, not that yellow. This yellow. Kind of a lemony yellow. Over here and a little bit over here. Then a little bit of, yeah, we'll use this, I think. No, let's use that. Yeah, just a slightly darker yellow, and then a little bit of this, more of a marigold. So really bringing out the fullness and richness of KitKat's colouring, and especially enhanced by the early morning sunlight that he's sitting basking in. These wonderful mackerel colorings that he has. And still, all along the way, maintaining the direction, observing the direction of his, how his fur lies on his body. Of course, it's a bit sort of a little bit fluffy and whatnot down here by his chest, on his neck, top of his chest. Let's just get some of these. Coloring's a bit more enhanced. And get a little bit more texture going in his face as well. Just overall, just get a little bit more grittiness to this piece. So I'm basically just meandering around here and doodling around just to get some, slowly build up this wonderful contrast again. Where I'm working now is in shadow, essentially. Well, it's not, there's no direct, there might be reflected light, but this front part of him, his chest, his neck, the side of his head is all in shadow, the sun coming in from this side. But nevertheless, his colorings are still quite light on his chest, with aside from a few stripes and what have you. So just want to bring that out and just work a little bit of graphic texture into this piece. So that's not all just these soft strokes and what have you. I just want to get some dynamic essence into it. There we go. That's looking better. let's bring in a bit of lilac here, I think. Let's go for something a little bit darker than that. There we go. A bit darker lilac here. Of course, the lilac is wonderfully in discordant with the oranges and yellows, which is lovely because it catches the eye nicely. And yeah, just bringing that subtly into some of the darks as well. Just kind of just gives it almost a glow, a shadowy glow. Again, adding to the dynamism of the rendering. Lovely. Yes. Oh, yes. Me, I'm like. All right, let's bring a little bit of the lighter lilac into the stripy bits over here. Of course, the lilac blends quite nicely with the charcoal as well, the dark of the charcoal, so all good there. I shall go over it once again with my dark black contact crayon. Yeah, it really just offsets this nicely. Bit of his muzzle there, and let's bring in this sort of slightly wheaty color as well. Busy with this now. When I got sidetracked with my lilac, I just want to build this over the lilac as well, so it's really just softens it a bit. Okay, that's fine for now. And let's just bring in some white flecks of also white Conte. Okay. Right. Let us now work with his little nose. and his lips and his lips and what have you are black. So I'm going to bring that in a little bit. Just enhance that. It's rather okay. And then we just finesse that a little bit with some lilac up here. There we go. And then, right, okay, so I get sidetracked very, very easily. I want to really work this little nose up a little bit. So as I mentioned, he's got this sort of a almost terracotta, like a brick colored nose. There we go, something along those lines. Let's get a little bit of slightly more towards the orange, just going on here, just some little uplighting, some details on the side and this edge of his nose. There we go. There we go. There's his nose. And his nose. Right. I think it's time for some soft, very soft white pastel for some of the more extreme highlight. I don't like to use, usually if it was a seascape or something and it had some very, very white highlights, I would use acrylic, but because this is not super reflective, in other words, shooting back the sunlight into our eyes type of thing, that kind of reflectiveness, I just use the pastel, and even then I'm going to soften it a bit as well. We've just got a couple of little spots around here that require this soft pastel. It's the only spots I'm using it actually in the entire artwork. I might use white pastel, but I'll use a slightly harder pastel in other spots. As you can perhaps see, where I do use this soft pastel, it really does pick up the light very, very smartly. So yeah, once again, and then I shall use the harder one, just to blend that in with a little bit. And soften it. Wunderbar. So now we've got this lovely contrasting look going on here. Very, very much just catching the light on the extremities of his body, where the sunlight hits him directly, and kind of if you can imagine, the sunlight sort of penetrates into his fur and then makes the fur shine, and that's what it's catching. It's not reflecting the light, it's absorbing the light, and then almost like if you can imagine little threads of fiber, that optic fiber that kind of just absorbs light and then glows as a result. And this is what's happening here with his fur. It's funny because the other night I've got this little it was a little gimmicky Christmas cracker gift or something like that that I have next to my bed. It's a little sort of torch thing, tiny miniature thing like this, little torch, but it's also got a what do you call these things? Laser, a little laser light. And one night I was shining it onto Sage's body, and Sage is white, of course. So the area around the point of the laser light was glowing red on Sage's fur, and that's what I'm talking about. It's that penetrating glow that I'm trying to capture here. But of course, all this side of his body is bathed in direct sunlight. Trying to once again just pick up on some of the texture. I'm not going to use white pastel in this area. Doesn't require it. I shall just use my Conte because that's a much harder substance than pastel. So I can get a finer line with it. Here, even though it's not the softest pastel, like the white, the other white, I can still get a nice broad stroke, picking up on these little highlights and stuff. Right, there we go. Once again, need some of this. Yeah, that's nice. So it's really just catching the edge of his fur, his fuzzy little chin, and then just it glows in the where it does catch it. Yes, please. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. Right, now let's just use some Conte, I think, for this. Where are we now? Just over half an hour left, eh? Plenty of time. Plenty of time. I can work nice and slowly, progressively with this, taking lots of care for these little hairs that stick out. Yeah, it's better. So I want these little hairs, these little whiskers of his, some of them to really sparkle. let's see. Yeah, I'll do that later. Are we getting happy with this? Are we happy with this? No, not quite yet. So in the next series, I'm going to be doing another portrait of Sage this time, and in a playful pose. Given that the theme for our next North Coast artists group gathering is feline fun, so I do want to do something for that. And this is not, I wouldn't call this piece fun. It's so difficult to catch cats having fun, and when they do, they're too damn fast to actually capture on camera. Like little Finn the other day, yesterday I think it was, I called her, I think I explained this in yesterday's session. I called her, I was already filming, and I called her because she was up the leopard tree, and I called her and she knows it's time for her milk, and she was now desperate to get out of this damn tree and get to me, and she jumped down eventually and then rocketed across the lawn. She loves her milk. In fact, she loves her food altogether, so she's rather a little gannet. But mind you, she's becoming rather a big little gannet actually, as she grows. Yeah, that's better. That's looking good. So, once again, I reiterate, I'm not looking for hyperrealism here. I'm looking for graphic quality, and it's the graphic quality that actually, to my mind, actually captures his essence of character. It's the play of the materials. It's the little doodles and squiggles and funny things that actually capture his essence. I'm not looking to reproduce a photograph of him. Right, let's start working with the eyes now. Let's start capturing that. Finally, huh? Let's start working around it a little bit. Sorry, I just need to do this though before I start with the eye. "25 minutes left. Plenty time." For all these little subtleties that keep grabbing my attention. Yes, that works. Right, back to the eye. Let's use some dark around here. I need a little of this pale yellow inside here. I'll actually get a chip of that. Very, very kind of almost lumo yellow here. Tiny little bit. A tiny little bit. Don't want too much, and then work with this more lemon yellow slightly. This regular, more regular, let's just try a bit of this. That's enough. And then this. And then, where's that color? I look, but I can't see. There is a mere hint of an iris here, but it's almost indistinct. Quite pick up on it, but it is there. So I'm just going to kind of notch it in. Again, as I said, very almost indistinct, but it is there. This is when I go quiet, when I'm trying to focus and concentrate, because it's the eyes that are the most important part of the entire piece. They really bring about the whole mood of the artwork. Let's just use a little bit of fleck of that at the top there, the bright white, and then I want to soften the whole lot. There we go. There's one eye. One eye, Jack. Oh, wait, let's just put a little trail of this vegan poo brown along the bottom edge here a wee bit. And soften that. Great. Okay, let's work now on this side. I'm not using my compressed charcoal as I thought I might. I think it might just be a little bit too dark for what I'm using it for. Yeah. Alright, let's bring in vegan poo brown over here. These eyes I want to be very, very striking. Sure. Let's just bring in the basis of this lemon yellow to begin with. Let's see, some nice little lilac reflections as well in this eye. And there's some of this pale, what is that? And where is it? More to the point. There we go. There really is a medley of colors in here, and I want to try to just capture. And then some darker sort of browns and stuff going on here as well. Let's bring in some of that, some slightly more chocolatey brown as well, just a subtle hint. Whew, and where's that pale yellow? There we go. No, not that one. I don't want that yet. Okay, let's just bring in, I think, some lilac here. Okay, time for the iris. Okay. Whew. Yeah. I think I need to darken that a little bit here. Where's that chocolate brown? Where are you? Goodness me. When you seek, you cannot find. And look as I might, it does not become apparent. Gosh, it's right in front of me. But where? God, really? Come on, dude. Let's have it. It's disappeared. The stupid bloody thing. Honestly. I was using it. There it is. Right, and then some black. Conte. Yeah, that's getting there. It's getting there quite nicely. I do declare some white, some lighter little pale blue I want to use for these highlights. I don't have a white highlight here, so I'm just using pale blue to capture that. I don't want it to be too intense. accentuate that with a little bit of my white Conte, just to soften that, whiten it a little bit. And a little sparkle there. I do feel it requires some very dark blue. Where are you? There you are. Okay, and indigo here. Where did the indigo? Where did the indigo? It went to the blue. Right. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, folks. When you work the eye in properly, pay very, very close attention to the eye. It is the window to the soul. It captures his whole mood. His very essence. And that is the eyes are the final touch to the composition, because they kind of they just attract, they draw in. I don't want to make them also overly bright and colorful, because that would then detract from the remainder of the rest of the artwork. But here I need to pay special attention. Yeah, it's where's that green? A little bit of olive down here as well, just at the extremities. Yes, please. Please and thank you. Okay, let's continue working around the eye. Whew, that was I won't say stressful, but quite climatic for me, because it's just so much hinges on the eye treatment, and even that you're getting the pupil in the right place. It's just, if it's mispositioned, it can just shift the whole character of somebody. Right, I did say that I wanted to do some work on the background, and I shall just finish off with that. But essentially now the stressful part is over. And right, so let's bring in some blues and lilacs into this background. I don't want to, once again, I don't want to detract from the rest of the artwork. So some soft, let's bring in some greens. Going to have our greens. Subtleties, of course, nothing pronounced or distinct. Blend that into the charcoal a bit. Here's our use my eraser flat edge just to soften that and blend it nicely. A wee bit, and then let's just go over that with some charcoal. Try this again. Right, we are getting close to, what was it I was wanting to do? Oh yes, okay, so let's just do some of these lovely whiskers are longer than you think, cat's whiskers. They have to project beyond the extremities of the body, so that they can feel their way. I don't want to do too many of them though, but and we are done with that. Rightio, let us sign off. And I think I shall sign off in yellow. Yellow. Yeah. Yeah. 2023. Fantastic. Right guys, we're done with KitKat's portrait. So hope you've enjoyed the process. It's been a exciting little piece, this. I love it. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. I do appreciate your comments, as I've always mentioned. So if you have any queries about my techniques or whatever I'm doing and how I'm doing it, what I'm saying, please feel free to send me a comment, and I will always make sure to reply. So yes, thank you once again for being with me, and I hope you've enjoyed the process. If you're watching it today, which is Friday, well, enjoy your weekend, and I bid you oodles and oodles of toodles. So until next time, folks, yeah, do tune in again, and in the meantime, be good, be kind, be caring, be gentle, be loving, etc., etc. I don't know why I do this, but anyway. Yes, take it easy, folks. Have a fantastic weekend ahead, and I'll catch you again on the flip side. Bye. Don't forget to doodle.